Hi, everyone. I attended the Colorado General Assembly meeting regarding House Bill 22-1008 on February 9th. The House Bill 22-1008 is regarding the implementation of fertility coverage by insurance companies in the state of Colorado. The original bill passed legislation back in 2020, and fertility insurance coverage was supposed to take effect on January 1 of this year. However, there were discrepancies in the language for large group plans versus small group plan coverage. So this meeting was to update and clarify the language of the original bill. Because this bill passed, fertility coverage will now take effect January 1 of 2023. You could tell that Representative Carrie Tipper, who was the bill's sponsor, was very emotional and expressed that she felt like she had let Coloradans down with the long delay in the bill's passage and implementation. What were the key policy issues discussed? The key policy issues discussed were the implementation of fertility coverage in Colorado. The bill was sponsored by Representative Carrie Tipper, who also provided a moving testimonial regarding her own fertility issues and experiences. This would be for patients who are employed at a Colorado-based company with over 100 employees. The coverage extends to diagnosis, treatment, and preservation. Fertility preservation does include both medical conditions such as cancer and also preserving your eggs for later use in one's life. I think it's very cool that Colorado includes fertility preservation because this is not something that is automatically included in fertility coverage. Colorado is only the 10th state to include fertility preservation under their fertility coverage. This meeting had several testimonials that were impactful. In addition to Carrie Tipper, there was also a cancer patient, Valeria Pernez, who testified that she had to spend $15,000 for her fertility treatment. And in order to pay for this treatment, she had to start a GoFundMe campaign. Mrs. Pernez stated that this was her third time testifying and hopefully her last. Another testimonial was from Dr. Leslie Apaya. She's a local Denver OBGYN, and she made some powerful statements as to how we protect the heart, we protect the lungs and kidneys, so why are we not protecting reproductive organs? Then Amanda Massey, who represented Colorado Association of Health Plans, testified to amend the bill. She testified that she is in support of the amendment to clarify the timing of the legislation. And then after her, Miss Allison Butler represented Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, and she testified in support of the bill on behalf of veterans. The key takeaways from the meeting. First, I would say the importance of having government policy work in conjunction with healthcare providers and insurance companies in order to have more effective access to health coverage for patients. If policies are misaligned, the patient will suffer and experience high costs and inadequate coverage for their healthcare services. Another takeaway was the power of government policy and its ability to help lower patient costs. This bill will have an enormous impact on families who need fertility treatment because it will allow treatment to take place where it would otherwise not be able to happen. For example, the policy has effectively cut the cost from up to $100,000 to only the cost of the insurance premium. My last takeaway was seeing the power of government policies and how they positively change the lives of people in the state of Colorado. I was really impressed seeing how the government is able to help dramatically reduce costs for patients who want to start a family. Broad policy implications for nursing and the student's specialty. This bill has broad implication for my specialty because I am a fertility nurse. This bill will allow more patients to come to my clinic, and therefore I do expect a large increase in my patient load next year because of all the new families who will be able to afford treatment. This bill is very close to home for me and will have a huge impact on my work life. Connecting the policy issues to course readings, discussion, and other content. I think that the personal testimony of the various stakeholders involved was really interesting. Stakeholder analysis of who this bill affects and how was an incredibly enlightening exercise to do because it showed me that there are multiple sides to all issues. In this case, the testimonial from Carrie Tipper, policymaker and fertility patient and stakeholder, was incredibly moving. She has an interest in seeing this bill pass because she felt the need for there to be more financial coverage for patients in Colorado going through the same fertility journey. I think that her testimony was the most impactful, and she highlighted that when people do have access to coverage, they make smarter care choices versus when patients do not have access to coverage, they end up trying to make medical decisions based on costs, which can end up being a waste of time and money. I really enjoyed this policy meeting, and I am glad that this bill has passed 9-2 on the day of the meeting and subsequently passed the Senate and is now awaiting Governor Polis's signature. Thank you, guys.